Hello everyone, it's Miracle Ugwebo, and in this video I'll be teaching you everything you need to know about color scheme. Okay, so our highlights for this tutorial will be importance of color, types of color, color theory, color scheme. Now, it is very essential that as a graphic designer and as a video editor, you know and understand color scheme to be able to come out with outstanding designs. Even though you are very proficient when it comes to creating designs or preparing video ads or whatever it is that involves color, if you don't have the fundamental knowledge of what color entails, your design or whatever it is you are doing would not stand out well. All right, so I'm already even talking about the importance of color. Okay, so in this video I'll teach you everything you need to know. Make sure you watch this video to the very end to get detailed information. Meanwhile, do well to subscribe to this channel. If you have not, please subscribe to this channel, like, comment, share with as many persons you know that this video will be helpful to, and most importantly, turn on the notification bells because you keep getting videos like this from me so that you don't miss out on any of my tutorials. All right, so if you have not subscribed, do well to subscribe, do well to like, do well to comment, and turn on the notification bell. So let's proceed. I was talking about importance of color. So color is very important. When you know and understand color properly, it will guide you on the kind of color to choose for a particular design. All right, now let me talk about this. Let's say you are to design a flyer. As a graphic designer, you are to design a flyer for a video ad. Sorry, let's say for let's use a laundry, okay, a laundry service, a laundry brand, and another brand of offering maybe a food brand. Okay, laundry brand, food brand. Now you need to know the right color to use so that you can be able to get the audience engaged in your flyer easily. If you do not use the right color, people will not even know what you're talking about. Imagine you using maybe, let's say, black for a laundry flyer design. It looks awkward, right? So you want to design a flyer for a laundry brand, a brand that offers laundry services. Your point of call should be blue color. The right color to use should be blue color, or let's say white color. Now about the food brand, your choice of color should be red, orange, and yes, red and orange. Now let's say you want to design a flyer for a birthday flyer for a female. You could use pink, even though not always, but because the pink color is a feminine color. If it's for guys, let's say blue. Okay, so understanding all of these things will really help you to come out with a design that you don't need to take so much effort to explain or to tell what your design, your graphics is trying to portray, because each and every color as well as your visual elements that were used in that design is helping you do the work. If you don't understand visual elements, please check my previous videos. I've done a video that addresses that. Okay, so check my previous videos. You'll see a video on visual elements. So color is very, very important. Now let's look at some colors and what they represent. So let's look at this. Okay, now we have one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine, 10 colors here: red, pink, orange, purple, yellow, brown, green, black, blue, white. All of these colors have the various things they represent. Now let's look at the first four. You could just read about the other ones from this video. Let's look at the first four. Color red represents power, strength, energy, heat, love, passion, danger, warning, anger. Color pink represents happiness, compassion, sweet, playful, immaturity, hope, inspiration, feminine. Orange represents excitement, confidence, encouragement, health, vitality, extroversion. Purple, royalty, nobility, spirituality, luxury, ambition, mystery, fantasy, moodiness. If you continue like that, yellow, brown, green, black, and other colors are not even listed here. They each have what they represent. So understanding this concept will enable you to come out with something good when it as regards video creation, or and that is video creation to promote a brand, or let's say a flyer design. Okay, so it is very essential that you understand color. So before you go on to take up a project, design project, understand what that project is all about, and then know the right color to use. Okay, one way you can do this is by visiting Google, Chrome, ChatGPT to ask about colors and what they represent. That way you'll be able to know the right color to use. Sorry, you'll be able to know the right colors to use. So it is very, very important that you understand what colors are. Although some brands have their brand colors. So in cases where you are designing for a brand that you are sure that have a brand color, you can ask. Even if you are not told, you could just ask them, what are your brand color, or what is your brand color? That is in cases where their brand color is just one, and you could just stick to their brand color. Okay, but it sometimes is not really always. Now let's talk about churches. I really doubt if churches have what brown colors, unless for colors in their logos. Okay, so and churches, they do various kinds of programs, so you will not just stick to a particular color. So when you are designing randomly, it's different, but when you are working for a brand, you have to ask for their doing something specifically to promote a brand, you need to ask for their brand color. But in cases where there are no brand colors, please understand your brief and know the right color that speaks well, that relates well with the brief you have been given to interpret as a graphic design. Okay, so moving on, let's talk about the various types of color. Now we have three major types of color: the primary color, we have the secondary color, we have the tertiary color. Okay, so these are the three major types of colors that we have. Let's take a look at the three of them. So these are the primary colors: yellow, blue, and red. They are the three primary colors: yellow, blue, red. Okay, so let's talk about the secondary color. Now secondary color has to do with combining various primary colors together. All right, so these are various secondary colors. We have orange, green, and purple. Now the combination of red and yellow gives orange, combination of yellow and blue gives green, combination of blue and red gives purple. Okay, so these are the secondary colors. And now over to tertiary colors. They are just combining both the primary color and the secondary color. So combining both the primary and the secondary colors gives the tertiary color. So let's just take a look at how it looks like. So these are the tertiary colors. Okay, all of these colors here. So when we combine all of the primary and the secondary, we get the tertiary colors. Okay, so that's about the types of colors. Now let's move on to color theory. All right, so I'm going to use the color scheme to explain the color theory. So this is a color scheme, okay, combination of different colors. So this is a color scheme, okay, and we have different types of color scheme, okay. Yes, the different ways we make use of this color scheme, but right now we're talking about the color theory. Okay, now color theory just has to do with, so the color theory just has to do with taking various colors from the color scheme and making different versions of it. All right, taking various colors from the color theory and making out different versions from it. That is different version of that selected color that is in the color scheme. Okay, so we can form a shade from a color scheme, we can form a tint from a color scheme, we can form a tone from a color scheme. So when I pick out a color from this color scheme, it is called a hue. It is called a hue. H-U-E, a hue. All right. Now let's just form a shade, tint, and tone from this color scheme so that you can clearly understand what I'm talking about. So I will need a plain background for this. I'll need a plain background, and I have to move my color scheme to the front of this background. Okay, so I need a plain white background for this so that you can properly understand what I'm talking about. Okay, so let me lock this background and then I'll reduce my color scheme to be up here. Okay, so this is my color scheme. Now I want to make various colors out of this. All right, so let me select this. Now this is a triangular shape. Okay, I want to color this triangular shape. Now I can just color it here, but let's say I want to select a color from the color scheme. I'll tap on this plus sign, I tap on this place that looks like search, then I'll scroll to that's my color scheme. All right, then let's select any color. Let's go for the color green. All right, now this thing that we see now is a hue, a hue. Bringing out, taking out a color from the color scheme is called a hue. It's called a hue, okay? H-E-U, a hue. Alright, let me increase the size so that I can move it. So this is a hue, okay? We just formed a hue. We just took a hue. Let me also give it that color green. So this is a hue, H-U-E, sorry, not H-E-U, H-U-E. Okay, so this is a hue. Now I want to form another version of this green that I've selected. Now let's form a shade. Now a shade has to do is basically a hue plus black. Now look at what I mean. Copy this, I put here a hue plus black. So this is a shade, a shade. Let's go back to this place. Now let's just add a touch of black, a touch of black from this. So do you see we have given it a different overview, a different version of this same color green by adding a touch of black. Okay, so what we have just formed is a shade. Okay, a shade. We just formed a shade that is the hue plus a black color. Okay, we just formed a shade. I can go ahead to form various version of this shade. I can go ahead to get various version of this shade. Let's try to create another version of this shade. Okay, another version of this shade. Please watch what I'm doing. It can be helpful for subsequent designs. Okay, now I want to get various version of this shade. Okay, I'll go ahead to copy this. All right, and I'll put it here just to show you that I can also get another one. So what we are forming is what is called a shade. Okay, now I'll go back to that my color, and I will add another touch of black again just to make it more darker. Now do you see that this is different from this? I just made another version of that green color, and I can go ahead to keep doing this. Okay, let's try another one so that you can see. Let me try another version. So I increase the black side of it. Now do you see, we have just formed another version of shade. So shade has to do with combining a hue and black, hue plus black. All right, let's then move over to tints. Okay, let's move over to tints. Tint. A tint. Now what is a tint? We're still making use of the hue. Okay, a tint is a hue plus white. A tint is a hue plus white. Okay, this is our hue. I'll copy. This is our hue. Now we want to get a tint out of this hue. A tint plus white. Let's move over to that color. At this time we'll move it to the whiter part. Okay, now let's see what it gives us. So we made like a lighter version of this one. So what we formed is a tint. Okay, let's form another version of that tint. I'll copy, I'll paste. All right, and then I move that color to the whiter part again. I move it. Okay, so we just form another one, although the difference is not so much. Okay, so this is it. Okay, so this is a tint. A tint is simply a hue plus white. A hue plus white. Okay, now we also do the same thing to this one by moving it backward. Okay, move it backward just to get a lighter version of it. So the more you keep doing it, the more you keep getting different results of that green color. So we just formed the tint. Now let's go over to tone. So this is what it is. The color. The tone. Tone. So this is a tone. Now we want to form a tone. Now a tone is just like the tint and shade. A tone is combining both the hue, white and black. So this is a tone. That is a hue plus white plus black. So we go over to the color section, and then we'll add a black, move it backward and add white on it. So it is a tone. Okay, let's do this again. Black and white, black and white, black and white. Okay, so this is another version. Let's try it again and see what it gives us. Black plus white, black plus white. So what we are forming is what we call a tone. Okay, yeah, so don't forget I said before that taking a color from the color scheme is a hue. All right, then creating different versions of that particular color is what we call either shade, either tint or tone. Yeah, so we can just create various versions. So creating various versions of that particular color, just like applying the color theory. Okay, now let's talk about the various kind of color scheme, the various kinds of color scheme that we have. So we are moving over to color scheme. Okay, so I'll just delete all of this. I'll delete all of this. All right, I'll delete all of this. So moving over to color schemes, we have various kind of color schemes, but for this session I will just major on about, let's say, 3 or 4. Okay, we have the monochromatic color scheme, we have the complementary, we have the split complementary, we have the analogous color scheme. Yeah, like I said, we have many of them, so I'm just going to major on just these 4. All right, major on just these 4. Okay, so I'll delete this, then I'll replace this here. Okay, so let's start with the monochromatic color scheme. Let's talk about the monochromatic color scheme. Okay, so here is the monochromatic color scheme. Did you notice anything from what we did applying the color theory? You can see this is a particular color and different shades of that color. So the monochromatic colors combination, the monochromatic color scheme is just like what we've done before, taking a color from the color scheme and making various versions of it, either making it a shade or a tint or a tone. That is what the monochromatic color scheme is all about. Okay, so understanding this will help us to know how to combine our colors effectively for our designs to look catchy, to look outstanding. So it's just simple. Either you are forming a shade or a tint or a tone, taking a hue and then either moving it to the black side to get a shade, or moving it to the white direction to get a tint, or put the combination of the black and the white to get a tone, forms the monochromatic color scheme. Okay, so let's talk about the complementary color scheme. Now, understanding all of these things will really guide you. It will really help you to know how to combine your colors effectively, to know the right colors to use, so that you don't just mix up colors anyhow and then your design is looking quack. All right, so it's not enough to arrange your visual elements properly or use the right visual elements for a design. It is also enough to know the right color combinations to use for each design. All right, so this diagram here will explain the complementary color scheme. Okay, so this will explain the complementary color scheme. Okay, so this will explain the complementary color scheme. Now look at this here, you can see this arrow. Okay, now you want to know what kind of colors can I blend, color blending, to come out with a good design. In using the complementary color scheme, you just pick any color from the color scheme and the color that is directly underneath it. All right, you pick any color from the color scheme. Once you do that, you have applied the complementary color scheme rule. That's just it. So there's nothing so big about it. So that's what the complementary color is all about. Okay, let's try to create another one. Okay, so I just turn my arrow. Let's say I'm going for this color. So that means the color that is just directly underneath it, so this is what we call the complementary color scheme. All right, now let's go to split complementary. So for the split complementary, unlike the complementary where you pick a color, like let's say we are picking this color yellow now, and then if I apply the complementary color now, let's say we choose color yellow, we are supposed to choose color purple that is underneath the yellow, alright, for our color blending. But instead of doing that, for the split complementary, we choose the colors that are opposite the one underneath the one we selected. Alright, now let's try something. Let me just form another one. Okay, you can see this one here now. Now let's say I'm going for the orange color. All right, sorry, pardon me. Let's say I'm going for the orange color. I want to just rotate this. Now if it were to be a color, complementary color scheme, I will just use my orange and the color that is directly underneath the orange. Okay, you can see this now. But for split complementary, instead of picking the orange, the color directly under the orange, as you can see here, I will pick the green color and then this blue color. All right, so what I have just done is what is called a split complementary color scheme. All right, now let's proceed. Okay, so I didn't mention this one, didn't mention this one. Is that okay? So this one, let me move it to the front. This is what we call triadic color scheme. Just selecting a color and any other color that will form a triangle with it. All right, please don't get this twisted. Don't mistake this for split complementary. For split complementary, let me recap again. For split complementary, I need to create okay, a shape for split complementary. So let me give this a color black to select. Now for split complementary, let's say I'm choosing orange. I will take it to the point where the color that is directly underneath the orange forms the complementary color, right? Now these two colors becomes the split complementary. The two colors directly opposite the one that underneath this orange color. That is for split complementary. Okay, that is for split complementary. But if I want to do this one, right, this triadic, okay, I just take a triangle. Let's do this. I'll give it a color. Let me take off this, or take off the opacity. All I need is a stroke. I need a stroke, and then let me take off this off. Good, this is beautiful. Now let's say I'm choosing this. Okay, choosing this. So the color that forms triangle with it is my triadic color scheme. Do you see this? So the color that forms triangular shape correctly with this mix of my triadic color scheme. I believe you get this. All right, so let's move on. Okay, so moving on to the analogous color scheme. So this is how we'll wrap it up. Please don't forget, like this video, share, comment, subscribe. Do well to turn on the notification bell, because I'll keep teaching you lots and lots of things that will be of benefit for you and of benefit to you and help you stand out as a good designer. All right, so this is the analogous color scheme. Now what we do is just select three colors on a row. Okay, yes, you pick a color, you pick the one next to it and the other one by the side. You have just formed what is called the analogous color scheme. There's another picture of it. This is it. Okay, so this is the analogous color scheme. All right, so I believe you have understand today what color involves when it comes to designing. So from henceforth, make sure you don't come up with a quack design. Do well to follow this rule, stick to this rule, so that your designs can be outstanding. All right, I still remain Miracle Ugwebu. Watch out for my next video. Thank you.